It's very diverse. It's split up pretty well. There's Latinos, there's blacks, there's a lot of white people. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where you're at in the South End, there's another community. You know what I'm saying? But it's pretty mixed up. It wasn't always like that. Gentrification got the best of it. So the majority of it was curated or put together or executive produced by Cook and Kill, which is the production duo of Frank the Butcher and Archetype. So basically, the earliest stages on, like I've been had the idea of doing an album centered around my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been had that, and I've been in my mind decided that the projects that I put out prior would be projects that led up to that. Yo, so now we're in between Washington and Tremont. This is really like the strip right here. This is really the block. As you can see, gentrification. They came back, did a lot of shit over, but it's still the same. A lot of the same people still here, a lot of the same issues. It was just really straight. After being in the neighborhood for so long, it was just me feeling like me and the people I've been around, it took so many L's. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it be losing people to the system, really losing people. Like I feel like those two street names really got the best of a lot of people in certain situations. So I feel like this would be the way to flip it. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be our turn to take ownership of those two names and everything that stands behind it. It's dark, it's hard, it's spaced out. You know what I'm saying? So I could really talk on these records. I could breathe. I could play with different flows, different tempos. Yeah, I feel like with a lot of the Cook and Kill production, you could feel the mood right away. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as you hear the beat, you already know what type of direction we're going in. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's another thing that I'm proud of, which this project helped bring out, is a distinctive sound. I met Frank probably like 3 years ago, maybe 4. You know what I'm saying? Through Brendan Boyd, one of the co-founders of Society Original Products. He had introduced me to Frank. Yeah, I sat down with him, and at this time I'm working on putting together the Chandelier View project, which was like my last project. He just kind of had an ear to it. He took a liking to it, and he paid attention from a distance. You know what I'm saying? He paid attention, and then when the time was right, we just connected. He had hit me one day. He had a beat. He's like, yo, I got this beat for you. I'm gonna send it over. He sent it over. When I first got it, I wasn't even really too drawn to it like that, you know, to be honest with you. But it was really just like, it was just wide open. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know exactly where to go with it. I didn't know what to do with it at all. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time I'm like, yo, I want to get this record done for him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I don't know how I can approach it. You know what I'm saying? So I sat with it for a little bit longer. He did some post-productions to it, which made a huge difference. And this is going back into the procedure, how we work. So we did some post-productions to it, and he sent it back to me. Once he did that, I was able to go in, and that record ended up turning out to be Ungodly. And Ungodly was like the first record that we ever did together. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's like I want to say that's almost like the birth of the whole Cook and Kill sound.
He had everything I was looking for. Everything that kind of made me want to work. You know what I mean? Everything that, you know, stimulated me to like, let's make this bigger. He had everything. He had the story. He had, you know, the talent. He had the temperament. He had the you know, our relationship was very natural. It wasn't this thing where I'm running around trying to chase him or it was very, very natural. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, just the whole crew in general, but these kids have grown into be my little brothers, you know what I mean? And I think that, like he said, I know we say it as we had to get comfortable, but it didn't feel that way. It felt very natural. It clicked, and eventually we were there. But just the comfort level, the trust level, he allowed me to really weigh in. He allowed me to you know, give advice. And that's the bulk of the thing. That's the bulk of it. That's the bulk of the magic, to allow each other to kind of, you know, weigh in and trust. And the trust was a huge, huge thing. And I feel like that opened up for a realm of possibilities. And this album is a testament to those possibilities. creating a project that is true to his story, true to his city, true to his surroundings, but elevated and executed in a way that, you know, it's worthy of national recognition, it's worthy of ears outside of the city. It's not just great on a curve.
The other thing about the whole crew is also the willingness to go kind of against the grain. That's a big thing, because I mean, both these artists that are here today have the ability to work in the current sound and structure completely. I mean, they could fall in line and operate and do well in that lane and in that sound, but they had a willingness to be open to something different that would help them stand out ultimately in the long run. And that's not an easy thing to see at an early age, you know what I mean? To understand that, like, sometimes going against the grain and doing something that puts you not right in the lane with everybody, but just over here, can kind of help carve your own sound and really distinguish yourself as an artist. And I think that that's been a big thing, like when talking about the sound that we were hoping to achieve with these projects, was the idea of like taking a, you know, like essentially making a street album, but making it in a context that's larger than just simply a street album.
It always kind of been like that, depending on where you were at in the South then, you know what I'm saying? But we kind of, it gave us a type of mentality, like, you don't just respect somebody off of what they got in their pockets. It's always about face value, you know what I'm saying? Because we were so close to people that were of wealth, you know what I'm saying, coming from poverty. So you know what I'm saying, the money ain't had shit to do, because a nigga with money that don't respect the code, he lunch, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, everything just ran off of respect around here. That's what it's about, you know what I'm saying? You deal with us respectfully, we deal with you respectfully, we protect the community, you know what I'm saying, if anything. You know? I don't really get caught up in what's going on or what other people may be doing or what might be popping on charts. You know what I'm saying? I just try to make what I like, what I love, really. I like what I like, but I make what I love. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, the type of music that I'm making is reminiscent of the music that I was listening to growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of it's like sample heavy. It'll be like soul samples, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's just something like a Cook and a Kill production where it's dark, then I'm really rapping on that. I'm really giving you lyrics. I'm really telling a story, like real stories. Everything's, the whole theme of it is always based on true events. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole theme of the project. So a lot of it's real events, all factual.